Walk the hounds for a little walk while Mum gets a blood test. She's off to have surgery next week. Nothing too major, but she has to have some blood tests beforehand. A brand new private hospital that's been built in Hastings. Mum's going there to get her gallbladder out. I've only picked up a couple of patients from there so far, but it's a beautiful facility. Incredible, actually, not like anything else we've got locally. It's like a hotel. I'm told they serve wine with dinner. The food is more than edible from what I gather. It's a funny thing. Ambulance, people always offer us food. When they write us a thank you letter, it's always accompanied by some sort of food. When I was in the fire service, it was always accompanied by booze. People would always offer us booze. I think it's interesting how people view firefighters versus EMTs and paramedics. Come on. I think from now on, vehicle engines should be measured in Basset power, because I'm almost certain they pull harder than a horse. We always thought that the harnesses would be better for them, but after doing some digging, we've discovered that their chest is so deep and their sternum is so oddly shaped that loading up their sternum is really no good for them, and that collars are actually better. What would be better is if we could teach them not to pull. Doesn't seem to be something I can manage at the moment. Millie and Angus are trying to go into this building right here. I'll show you. This right here is the building that Angus and Millie are trying to go into. Home of such services as the dog ranger, the pound, and animal control. So I don't think you want to go in there, Angus. I really don't. I recommend moving away from said building. People are quite funny with parking here. When I was in my 20s, late teens and early 20s, I spent some time in some big cities. Parking is insane. Sometimes upwards of $100 a day, and if you don't pay, the fines are just obscene. Here we pay $2 for 3 hours from memory, or it might be $2 an hour perhaps, but yeah, let's say $2 an hour for argument's sake, and the fine is like I think $20 or $40 or something if you don't pay. And they talked about increasing the parking to, let's say, $5 an hour, and people acted like we were, not we, they acted like the council was trying to take their cars off them for the price of a park. Angus has found something he likes. Angus, what are you doing? You're going to get lost. Goodness me. What's he found? Right, come on, get out of there. Come on. The dog ranger's going to come and get you. They live just down there. This is where Mum's getting her blood test. No dogs. Strictly no dogs allowed. It's where I used to work, over the road at the doctor's. Interesting working in primary health, very interesting. Although I've got to say, ambulance is certainly more my cup of tea. Perhaps when I retire though from ambulance. Siren chasing, I call it. Lots of excitement and car crashes and explosions and all manner of good things. There's not much of that in primary health. It's more runny noses and sore orifices. Coughs, colds and sore holes, as they say. Very interesting in terms of learning, but not quite my cup of tea yet. Angus left a little deposit down the way, but I didn't have any bags, so we're just going back to take care of said deposit like good dog owners. There's not many things that make me angry more than dog owners who don't pick up after their dogs. It makes the rest of us look bad and gives dog haters a reason to make our lives hard. Hounds having a little walk past the brand new police station. Bit of a funny system. Manned during the day, nobody there at night. There's a telephone there so you can ring the police. Seems a little bit redundant to me if you're being chased by Freddy or Jason or something and you get there, you think there's going to be a policeman, there's a telephone. At least you can tell someone that they're chasing you. We used to use Holden Commodores, which are very similar to, I guess, like a Pontiac GTO or a Chevy Accolade, maybe they call them. I'll have to check that. But we've stopped using those, gone to these far more eco-friendly, yet much less quick. Oh, there's one of the local policemen hopping out of a Skoda. So they've moved to Skodas, smaller engines. I assume they have to be turbocharged. I gather they handle very well, but I don't know that they'll last like the Holdens did. A little bit uncomfortable filming the local police. Angus saw the policeman, so he's off. I don't know what he's done, but he's certainly got a stride on. Always reminds me of those memes of your dog's ringing you to bail them out of jail. What did they do? Angus, I suspect it's something to do with the theft of food items. Or urinating in public, perhaps. This is Clive Square. This is where I used to come and have my lunch when I worked at the doctor's. There's usually ducks here, so Angus is always pretty keen. Millie's taking her time. We might have to stop for Millie to have a little break. We come to a lot of patients in this area at night. They come and hang out in here and do what people do in parks at night and end up bringing us. It's always really, really dark and it scares the bejesus out of me. There's the bells. They go every half hour and every hour, which you'd think would be really nice, but they play at about 1,000,000 decibels, and they're nice the first 10 times, but after that I was less than impressed. Art Deco fountain. People come from all over the place to take photos of our fountains. Millie's a bit tired. She's ready for a sleep. These guys are going to go home for dinner. Mum won us some tickets to the new Mission Impossible movie, so we're going to go see that. Probably have a pizza or something. That should be good fun. Millie is completely spent. She's leaning against the wall for some support. I think she wants to go and buy a lottery ticket. But no, we're not going to be having dogs doing that today. Even Angus is running out of steam. Had quite a decent walk through town. They've met dozens of people. And now it's time for dinner. Let's go!